Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In the Truck.
Welcome back.
Episode 7 of the podcast that we do. It's been a while since our last one.
I think we're being dumb. Are we gonna do the improv before or after this?
We'll just do it after.
Okay.
Just make sure we actually do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what we're talking about, we do little improv skits every single week, but they're exclusive to our Patreon. So we make up a little story, each of us specifically, and it's just a bunch of random nonsense, and bullshitting, and it's a lot of fun. So if you wanna see what that's about, go check out our Patreon. It's $5 a month for everything. So
It's up to you if you want to believe it, but
I mean,
it's improv
what
stories.
do you mean about believing it?
You can believe the
It's all
story.
true stories.
It's all true stories
Yeah.
in some universe.
It's all true stories. We're just like improving like the way we say it, you know?
I love the idea of multiverse.
Really?
Yeah, that idea I've always enjoyed.
Same. Sorry.
When I was younger, watching Adventure Time was I talk about it all the time, obviously, but that was something that I dreamed about, but not just for Adventure Time, but for every video game that I played, every cartoon or good show that I really got into. I dreamt about being part of that world in some way, and I hoped that one day I would wake up in a new universe, in a new multiverse, and just be like, oh my god, everything's different, but I don't remember what the last universe was like, but this seems pretty chill.
I mean, that's essentially what people like. There's a theory out there of what the Mandela effect really is, and what the theory is that people think that the Mandela effect is whenever you feel it, you're like, whoa, like I remember it being this way, you know, Berenstain, Bears, whatever.
Bernstein.
Yeah. But the theory is whenever you started feeling you're like, oh, like whenever you started feeling the actual Mandela effect, you're like, oh, I remember it this way, but apparently it's always been this way. That there's a theory out there that that's actually you merging with a different, you jumped to a different multiverse or a different
and
universe,
didn't even realize it.
and you merged, and that's the remnants because everyone else thinks you're crazy. They're like, oh no, it's always been this, and you're like, what? No, I swear to fuck, and that's actually you from a different universe jumping in.
I thought for a second I actually had that. Do you know what Video Now is?
No.
So Video Now, back in 2003, they made this little pocket portable disc thing. So you would put DVDs, not DVDs. You would put,
yeah.
It was
Okay,
a
no, I know what
specific
you're talking
brand,
about.
and so you'd put the video in, blah blah blah. You watch a cartoon, but there was this one called the X's, and for some reason I just couldn't find any information on them for the longest time. Because I saw the disc for it, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about this show, and I felt like I had an artifact from the Mandela effect.
Really?
And I just couldn't find anybody. I was like, oh yeah, the X's, I remember that show.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did find remnants of it after I looked up the X's Video Now discs. I did find other people that had them too, trying to sell them for cheap.
Oh, that's awesome. I honestly that's an entirely different topic that I really like exploring. I don't know if you've ever actually looked into it at all, but lost media.
Mm-hmm.
There's a YouTuber that I like to watch. I think his name is Blame It on George. That could be wrong. Maybe Oddheader. No, he does video game. No, I think it's Blame It on George. I think he does the lost media stuff.
Why are you sitting so far forward?
Because it's cold.
Oh, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You got blankets and such.
No, I want the heat.
Okay.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, he does this lost media series where he says. He talks about lost media that's found, and there's an entire Discord community. It's really fascinating. But one of the things that people are searching for, just or that they were searching for, just for shits and giggles, this dude was like, hey, anyone remember this early 2000s Subway commercial that was extremely low budget of just a dude talking to God, and God's just fucking here's my bread, bitch, or some shit like that. And everyone's like, no, I do not remember this. And the dude described it. He's like, yeah, they're on a mountain, and then they say this, and then they say this, and this happens, and they're and everyone's just like, nah, man, what the fuck are you talking about? It's I cannot find it anywhere. And it was lost media, so people was like, all right, let's hunt for this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think a year later, eventually someone accidentally
stumbled across.
They stumbled upon a compilation song because someone uploaded a compilation of old tapes that they had old commercials, and it was a 30-minute video, and that commercial just happened to be happened to in there somewhere, and everyone's just holy shit, no,
he was not crazy.
He wasn't crazy, and he remembered the commercial damn near exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just oh shit, That stuff's just awesome to me. Um,
This is off topic, but not
you
necessarily.
only talk off topic.
Well, like
You never talk on topic.
true. That's just part of my personality.
Like Jesus.
Well, I mean, for like lost media, but like lost things, lost people, and such. Do you know about? I can't remember what the flight name is called. You know about it. I know
Malaysia
you do.
flight 430, 470.
Yeah, it's the one that was lost in like the middle
20.
of South America. And some dude was trying to find it, and he found like the remnants of an old plane on Google Maps. And so he's tried to go out there like 3 times, and every time he hasn't been able to find it. But he's doing another expedition this year. I hope he finds it. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, you're talking about like the most famous missing flight, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Malaysia, I think it's 470.
Yep.
I learned about that one a lot too.
I
did see like an actual update video like somewhat recently that using like I think it was like some sort of technology from like satellites. Or no, it was like radio waves. Like there's an anomaly in radio waves that this dude discovered that like you could see planes and he studied the data from there and he's like, yeah, I think it's going to be around this area, and I think that's what you're talking about because I think this year they're going to be looking again, so it might actually be found somewhat soon.
Oh God,
which would be awesome. Imagine that black box recording on that plane.
Because I wonder how long the black box. Because I wonder if people survived after it crashed. If there was people that actually had to just go out and survive. They're probably dead now, but
oh no, dude, there's no way they were going to go and survive. They crashed in the middle of the ocean.
Oh wait, there was a different one then. Because there was another one where he crashed in the jungle, and
then we're not talking about the same flight because flight Malaysia 470 is like there's no way it could have crashed on land. That's the most popular or the most famous plane disappearance.
No, fuck it. I was about to research it, but I don't give a shit enough.
Yeah,
but
how about you guys research this and tell us about it in the comments?
Yeah, no, it's I think it's somewhere in Brazil.
Okay.
I might be wrong on that. It's someplace in South America. I know that.
Well, along those same lines, like something that's always fascinated me was the disappearance of Amelia Earhart. Personally, because like
you've talked about wanting to go and see everything that she has in the
Smithsonian.
Yeah,
Smithsonian. Well, because we've gone to I don't know if you've ever been the House on the Rock. It's, southern,
I've never been there.
Southern Wisconsin. I've gone with my girlfriend. And it is, wow. For one, don't try to do it all in a day or two because it's
a lot of information.
It's not even just a lot of information. It's just a lot of stuff. I mean, it is a lot of information, but it's a lot of visual information. Like you'll get a headache if you try to take it all in.
That's how I felt going to the Field Museum.
Yeah. But something that I found was probably the most fascinating part in that entire museum. Not the giant fucking 4-story whale. Not the giant carousel. Like those are all cool, but like
They're interesting. But
to me the coolest thing about that place was apparently, or there was 2 coolest things. They were in the same like lobby. There was a entire car filled with like completely covered in tile, like bathroom tile. That was really cool. It was super heavy.
It was repeat.
It was an entire car
covered in tiles.
Tile. Yeah, like bathroom tile, like shower tile. I don't know. An artist made it.
Okay.
And it just ended up there. It's really cool.
Okay.
But I don't know how true this one is, but there was a plane engine there, and what the description said on it is that it's believed to be one of Amelia Earhart's engines to one of her planes. I don't know if it was the plane that crashed. I don't think so, because I think it would be mangled, but I think it was like one of her first or something. Because it's not fully confirmed, but I think it's believed to be, which would be fucking cool as shit. I mean, just looking at an old airplane was fucking really cool. You know, or airplane engine rather.
We had a previous guest, Trevor, with him being super into airplanes. I wonder if he knows more about Amelia Earhart.
I don't think so. I think he's more interested in just how they
the
work.
Mechanics and such.
Yeah, I think he's just like, ooh, this plane can do this, and like this plane can like do a show. I don't think he really cares much about the history. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't. As far as I know, he never really talks about that. I feel like I'm the one.
You're a big history buff nerd, so you like to look up disasters and such. You like that.
It's shit that's just fascinating, thought. You know. Like we were talking about earlier. My favorite thing. Like what I watch on YouTube mainly is like video essays or documentaries or just tales like I do watch some people for their personality, but it's never usually for like a game they're playing or whatever. Like
It's for
I
the
enjoy that stuff,
personality.
and I used to enjoy that stuff more, and I get that it's still a big thing and people still watch that stuff. I mean, look at the content we make
Right.
but like what I actually ingest on my own is more like stuff like that. But
I was gonna talk about what we ingest media wise, but that'd be again jumping topics.
I was gonna, if you want to jump a topic, I was gonna say something I was gonna say at the beginning.
Go.
So welcome back to In the Truck, episode 7. As it seems that we do so often in pretty much every goddamn episode, whether it's on the couch, in the truck, whatever. We're in a new studio.
Yeah, no, we're always in a new place, new recordings.
Yeah, because life is fickle and it's hard. But man, if you have a dream, fucking do whatever you can.
I have a lot of confidence in this place that it might actually stick around longer than the rest.
I think this one will stick around the longest because there's less hurdles with this one. I think the biggest hurdle here is it's fucking cold.
Yeah. And I think we will be able to take care of that real quick with like we've already talked about it. Insulation drywall, we'll get it done.
Well, do you want to actually explain where we are?
Yeah. So, I'm not gonna go,
or at least what kind of room we're in.
Yeah, it's just a basement room that has four walls, as you would guess. Oh wow, that's a room. Whoa. But it's all wood paneling essentially. It's just like wood boards all put around.
Yeah, like it's a makeshift bedroom of just like 4 hastily put together walls in an unfinished basement.
Yeah, since my basement was never finished, we were gonna do a hell of a lot more with it when it was first being built, but we didn't have the money for it when it was first being built, and I wasn't born for that, so whatever. But
I didn't know you.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But it used to actually be your bedroom. For when I first met you. Everything started in this room. Actually, our friendship blossomed from here, and
it's kind of you said it before. It's kind of poetic where it ends.
And you've since moved out, but this room has been like unused since then, pretty much since you moved out of here. But recording at my house is horrible. It can be fine, but it's I have a lot of roommates essentially, and it's hard to always get like silence and stuff.
It's mainly inconvenience of just people, but also inconveniencing them. They're inconveniencing us. It kind of becomes a back and forth of just tug and war.
Yeah, I mean it's just mainly just noise pollution. So like it's just hard, So we try to mitigate that. I mean, obviously this is in the truck. So, I mean, we're still in a truck, obviously.
Yeah, we're still in a truck.
But like, it's also like -8 degrees outside, and
we're not fucking recording in the truck at -8 degrees. I'm sorry, but you can cut my feet off. I don't care.
But we are still in a truck.
We are in the truck.
We're actually in the truck. But no, this room is cold like a truck, but it's not as cold. Okay. I guess essentially is we tried to bounce around different studio ideas, and like because like we obviously don't have the funds for an actual studio quite yet. But first we were doing it in my bedroom, then the truck, then
the living room at your house,
the living room. And then we were talking about doing it in your garage, but again, since it's -8 degrees, we don't want to do it out there for the same reason we don't want to do it in the truck, because it's
just negative.
It's like an unfinished. It's an unfinished garage, and it's
it's really cold.
It's really
going to be uncomfortable.
Really
we wouldn't even be able to get good content out because you'd be so focused on being cold, which you have seen in the earlier episodes of On the Couch. If you've seen them, is we're recording in a very, very cold truck, and a lot of the time we're just saying, "Oh my God, I'm so cold."
Yeah, sometimes you even hear the heater. I think in Mr. Krabs' videos, you hear the heater because we forgot about it sometimes. Yeah, which is fine. Actually, the heater's actually going right now, which honestly,
I don't think it's picking up at all.
Yeah, but we're gonna do 10 seconds of silence, which we forgot to do. So, wow, that was fun. I always love forgetting to do that in the beginning of the episode.
I mean. We talked about last night with me doing not first, but I guess first edit by myself without any actual help.
Oh, I still haven't even looked at that.
But I also had it halfway done when I was doing it because I worked on it before at your house, and then I just never finished it. But I did my first little cut like that because we didn't do the 10 seconds of silence, and that was funny because you just go,
I'm just like whoop, and that'll be in the third episode of the Devil May Cry series. Yes, baby, we're playing Devil May Cry. You probably already know that this is the 7th episode. This is the 7th week. So I don't fucking know. Who knows what's happening now? Maybe.
Yeah, no. When I watched the Cat in the Hat video and it said, "Oh yeah, we're sorry, it's probably gonna be out in like a month, and it's probably gonna be we're a little bit late by a month." 8 months later,
when we recorded that, maybe.
yeah, when we recorded a month after, but 8 months later.
No. You know, it's crazy. Like, we started this podcast. Like, our first episode of the podcast was like a couple months ago now already, and like the podcast was only with the newer mics. So we've had these newer mics for a little while now, which is honestly like cool.
I'm so happy we got these new mics.
It's so nice. It honestly changed everything.
I didn't realize how much the audio
is very important.
It is so fucking important.
Yeah.
It makes or breaks the video in itself, because if you can't understand what they're saying, or if you can understand what they're saying, but it's just
so
not
pleasant
fucking
to
loud,
listen to.
Yeah,
really, either if it's loud or if it's like,
it can ruin the experience.
Yeah, like
entirely.
everyone can hear with this podcast. Like, my voice hopefully sounds very sweet and succulent because of that nice EQ filter I have. Like, you know what? Fuck it. For shits and giggles, if I somehow remember, if it's okay if I don't. Don't
okay
beat yourself up. But for shits and giggles, here is what the actual the what we record sounds like for shits and giggles. I'm gonna do it right at 18 minutes. All right, at least for me. All right. Yeah, okay, so this is what the actual recording sounds like. I know it's crazy. And like, if I actually do some audio production on it, it actually will make it sound like this, which is nice. It's a lot more soothing compared to this, because this is pretty bad. But so we're just going to go back to this because it's nicer.
Wow, you're
I'm going to hate that. I'm going to fucking hate that later.
Tick. Yeah, you ruined yourself.
Yeah,
why'd you do that to yourself?
I don't know, because I like making good content and I like going all the way. You know what I mean? I like putting in the work and stressing myself out because like that's how we make it. You know what I'm saying, dog?
Hey, would you like a sun drop?
I would love a sun drop. I'm out of NOS.
Sun drop, my man.
Thank you, sir. Ooh, the benefit. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say before is yes, we're in a basement now. It is still quite fucking cold. Not gonna lie to you, but the benefit of it is there's no actual draft. We have a concrete floor, so that's probably where a lot of the cold is coming from.
There's no actual draft, and the insulation on the ceiling, because
it's really good sound dampening.
Barely any fucking echo entirely.
Yeah, no, it's so great.
Nice.
I mean, this is probably going to be the best place for. I mean, I feel like we say this a lot, but this will probably be the best place for actual like audio quality in terms of like post production stuff. Like there won't be much noise apart from the heater, but. There's not really going to be any echo. Like, this is probably going to be really clean audio, which I'm pumped
excited for.
Yeah, same. But on top of that, like, we're not in a garage or we're not in a truck, so we're not like the basement is cold, but it's not. It's still kind of heated. It's never gonna get like
I think I
completely freezing. So like it's nice to we were able to like leave shit set up more.
It was like when we were in the truck, we would spend almost an hour and a half to 2 hours setting everything up.
Continue.
We would spend almost an hour and a half to 2 hours setting everything up, and then we would record for
3 hours.
We'd record for
Don't downplay that. It takes us like 3 hours to set shit up, dude.
Yeah.
It takes horrible.
And then because it's so fucking cold in there, we're not motivated to stay in that truck. So we'd record like 5 episodes at most. Then we'd have to go inside because it's so fucking cold.
Right.
Bring blankets and pillows out just so we can try to stay warm with our own body heats, and it never worked out. So then we'd have to turn on the heater for about 15-20 minutes, let the truck get warmed up, and it would be genuinely warm. You turn it off for 5-10 minutes and it's immediately dead cold, and it's terrible.
And with how small the truck was, and
so much draft.
Well, there's so much draft, and with how small the truck was, we couldn't have the heater on all the time, especially because when we were recording the truck, we didn't have the new mics. I think we had the new mics for the beginning of the podcast. The first couple episodes were actually recorded in the truck because it was still summer or still warm out, you know.
Honestly, that's like probably gonna be my favorite time of year for recording is the summer.
Right. Well, and honestly, we'll get into that in a second too. But we couldn't really have the heater on because we'd have to turn on the heater between episodes, and we record an episode and have to stop for another 10 minutes for it to warm up again. You know, it sucked. At least in the wintertime. I mean, we recorded a couple in the summertime, and we just didn't need a heater really much at all until it was like nighttime. So that was nice, but honestly, something more permanent is gonna be nicer. Like honestly,
I'm happy with the setup of this so
oh yeah,
far.
same,
It
same.
needs to be optimized, but even then, like,
I mean, it's
it's
humble
pretty nice.
beginnings, you know.
Right.
And behind us, this is honestly like our actual first studio that's going to be ours because we plan on behind us actually retrofitting it for Off the Couch.
Mhm.
Because again, Off the Couch is recorded in my apartment living room, and the backdrop is cool. Yeah, I got a fireplace, my guitars are there. It's cool.
But now you get to deal with probably a plain wall for the first couple episodes, maybe,
Something like that. We'll figure it out.
and cement floors.
But the
cement
downside
floors
with
are nice.
doing it at my house is finding a time because we don't like to record when everyone's there because not only do they fully not understand, which I mean I can't fully blame them, I guess, because this is just a stupid dream, but
Well, I mean,
fully
it's-
understand to be quiet, and it's hard to
the communication is really hard to actually hammer home because everybody it's everybody's home. It's everybody's
everyone's home, and
apartment,
we're
so
doing it
it's
in like the main living room. 'Cause that's the
Yeah.
only place we can do it. So it's
doing
just,
it in a
it's just
place where
tough.
everybody's walking around, everybody's
Right.
already hanging out.
Right.
So
But whereas this is an actual like room that's like, hey, this room is dedicated for recording.
this,
Like
this is for this and
this
nothing
room, this
else.
room has been converted to just this. You know, like
Well,
we're gonna
and
be,
Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean that's still, I mean, same shit.
that's
You know what
besides
I mean?
the point.
Like this is a work and recreation room, but mostly work room. So we're gonna be recording on the couch, and then we're gonna be hopefully the wall behind us. We're gonna be retrofitting it for Off the Couch. So sorry if our set is gonna change, but I'm hoping that we have some plans. We don't want to spoil too much. Honestly, actually, no. The 7th week, you would have seen this already, but this is the 7th week of the podcast being out. So I think what our plans currently, this is January 8th, our very first podcast episode just released to the public on Spotify
Oh yeah,
and on YouTube today. The second
looks beautiful.
The second episode is out on the Patreon now. Not that you know. But I mean, if as Trella, if this is you, if you're still listening to this on the Patreon, you're getting this the week before everyone else, baby. Hell yeah. Anyone else that's subscribed to the Patreon, you're also getting a week before us. Check out the improv skits we did. We didn't do them yet, but they're great.
they're fucking awesome.
I swear to
man.
God.
I promise to you that we did all of them, and
Hell yeah.
they're all done, and we totally haven't done like
And-
3 of them still.
And
but shut up.
and if you are listening to this on YouTube right now, what are you doing, man? Go check out the Patreon right now. If you go check out the Patreon right now, the next episode is immediately available for you.
Dude,
Ain't that awesome? Isn't that cool how that works?
you're not signed up to our Patreon? That's like
Go,
what, you silly baka?
yeah, man. Just
Come
go reserve
Kind of cringe, honestly.
a seat. It's only $5.
You're not, yeah, kind of cringe that you're not giving us $5 for the Patreon. It's kind of cringe. Pretty cringe.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cringe that you're not giving us money. Yeah, give us money and you'll be less cringe, kid.
You'll be much cooler if you give us at least $5.
Be a lot
is
cooler
that-
if you
is
did.
that
That's
another-
a joke, by the way.
Yeah, don't just do that. That's
I
not.
mean, if you want to support us, like support a dream, like this would be awesome. Like, so so we can like have so we can build the studio awesomely. But
you'd be a lot cooler if you did.
yeah. What I was gonna say though is for my God, it'd be a lot cooler if you did. For our idea for the Off the Couch Studios, we're gonna drywall it up. We're gonna paint some sort of either black color, dark color, pastel, or whatever. We're gonna put our logo on the wall because fuck it, why not? Or AC or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Whatever it ended up being, that's what it is.
I just had the thought of, so if we're looking at that back wall, and you have my color and your color, my color would be on your side, but with your color for the letter, and then on my side it'd be your color, but my color for the letter as well, and then it would be that split contrast. Just an idea, but
It's not a bad idea. I mean,
it's
for
more
the
paint.
back.
It's more paint, and that just it costs more money. And I'd rather not.
Well, I mean, if we were to do that, I'd still. That's a good idea, but for the actual background colors, yes, contrast it per side, but I'd still do like a more pastel color instead of like the actual bright color.
yeah, no, I'd
You know,
rather.
so it's not as loud. You know what I mean?
I would want to. What would be to soften it a bit. Also, I really want to see you take a picture of it and Photoshop the shit out of it.
Or, I just had this idea.
Mm.
What if we do paint it like a black or like a dark blue or something, and paint the stars on it, and try to paint a grid on it or something, and then put the AC in the middle?
Oh, you're a fucking genius.
Because that lines up with
that
damn near
looked
every logo
beautiful.
that lines up with damn near every logo we have.
Because if we can actually make it look like it's extending out, and the visual of that, of like having the camera on that,
Yeah.
with the black and the purple, it actually might look like it's kind of moving in a sense if
At
you're
that
not
point, should we
looking at
just
it
set up
straight
a
on.
green screen and actually have like a moving grid behind it? That would take fucking forever to render.
Fuck that.
I'd do it though.
I'd do it for like the visual pleasure.
Honestly, like
but that's
we should invest in a green screen and just do that at one point just to see how it works, you know? Because like if it works well,
you getting on and off this van couch is making it so complicated for my leaning system because
Why?
like I'm leaning harder and harder against it, but then you're not sitting on it, so then I'm about to tip back. It's scary as hell.
I'm trying to get the heat, the sweet succulent heat.
Yeah, you're just
good
a
heat.
slut for that heater.
I like heat.
I'm not slut shaming, but also you are a slut for
Thank
that
you.
heat.
Went to Canada recently.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Uh,
I've been waiting to hear it
Yeah.
for like the past fucking 2 weeks.
I've been 3 weeks, man. I went like almost a month ago already because it's the 8th of January. I went.
Yeah,
At first we left the 14th of December.
The first day that I saw you after that, you were like, "Oh, I can't wait to tell you about Canada." Oh, I can't tell you about Canada. I gotta save it for the podcast.
Yeah. So we went to Toronto to see one of my favorite bands, USS, Ubiquitous Synergy Seeker. And if you're just now finding them, I'm sorry to say,
They're a really good band.
this is their. Yes, they are. This was their final tour. So I mean, the music is still great. The music is still out, but there won't be any more, and you can't. see
God,
them
what
live.
if that was the case with music? What if, like, as soon as the tour ends, all their music just falls off the face of the earth?
Unisonis?
Oh.
That'd be a really bad like career choice.
Yeah, it would.
Unless you're Markiplier, and,
Right.
You know,
You can just do that.
Yeah, you can just do that. I mean, it's not like I don't think he would ever be like, Markiplier's done. All right, goodbye, and deletes it all. I mean, he's probably got enough other projects and passive income and just income in general to he could do that.
I could see Mark just being like, you know what? I'm done, so all of you are done too.
Yeah, I could see that honestly, but like, I don't know. I think he's like, I could also see Mark saying,
He did it again.
I could also see Mark doing, I already did that once, and I'm not a man that repeats things because he's an innovative dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Fuck,
we were talking about? Oh, Canada. Yeah. So we went to Toronto to see USS, and they were great. And actually, something cool about it was, so we went on Tuesday and we stayed until Saturday. So we had a couple days to do other stuff, and the concert was on Thursday. So we went for the concert specifically, but we gave ourselves a couple extra days to just do whatever. So my roommate actually gave me a cold, right before we left. So for luckily, it was literally just a cold. Like I got tested for the vid, yeah, and I was clean, so I still got like through the border and stuff, which was really nice. But that caused me my voice completely went for the first 2 days of the trip. I had zero voice. And honestly, by the time the concert came around, like I still didn't have my full voice, so I couldn't shout as much as I wanted to.
Oh, that's upsetting.
It was, but I still I managed. It was back enough that I could
fight through it.
It was back enough to where I could sing to it, but I wasn't anywhere near key. So my dream of hopping on the stage and finishing a song was out the window.
I'm so sorry, Adam. I wish you could have done that.
It's all right. There's a lot of people there. That wouldn't have happened anyways.
I thought it was like oh wait, never mind. That's for the concert we were talking about later.
Yeah. Though we're gonna go see Twin Shadow in February, hopefully. Which I should reserve those tickets before they're sold out.
Yeah, you probably should.
Which, by the way, you got to still talk to that other person to make sure that that's definite. That you're gonna come with me, so I don't buy 2 tickets for nothing.
I gotta talk to them.
So you let me know on that.
It's before that. Yeah.
Twin Shadows before that.
Yeah.
Twin Shadows a day before that.
Kept on mixing them up the other night. No,
Yep. But the cool thing, I'll skip to the concert, I guess, since I'm talking about it. So we went to see.
Well, didn't you almost die on the way there?
On the way to not the concert, but
on the way to Toronto.
Yeah, we were just like 2 hours away from where we live, driving north because we were going through the UP, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, to go through to go over the Mackinac Bridge and then to avoid like Chicago and Detroit. And we were gonna hit I think it was like the Blue Water Bridge or whatever. That's the entrance to Canada. And we were going up north that way. and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. There wasn't a lot of light yet, and all of a sudden we were taking my girlfriend's car, and all of a sudden she's driving like, and this is like mid-December. There's not a lot of snow.
Was
but
this
there's
in Canada?
This is like 2 hours north of our
Okay,
house.
okay.
2
sorry.
hours north of our house.
I just mixing
We're not even
up.
in the UP yet.
Okay.
Um, and then we're just driving on the freeway. Everyone's driving the whatever speed. She's going like 80 in a 70. You know, shouldn't speed, but whatever. Everyone does it. You know, especially whatever.
You're
And
excited.
I'm not just excited. Just like who doesn't go 10
Yeah.
over on the freeway? You know what I'm saying? And it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. It was kind of early still. The sun wasn't fully up yet. And all of a sudden, just like it wasn't like horrible roads. Like the roads like looked clear. And then all of a sudden, the car just started fishtailing at 80 miles an hour, and just like left, right, left, right, left, right. And I was like, holy shit, we're about to fucking die. Surprisingly, she fucking saved that shit. She
went into deja vu mode.
Deja vu? What do you mean?
It's initial D. It's an anime. Deja vu.
Oh,
I haven't been in this place
that.
before.
I'm like, what do you mean deja vu? She's
No,
never,
like-
she's never
Like she
been
turned
in an
that car
accident
sideways and went, whatever, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, she counter-corrected. Like she did exactly right, and she managed to get it to go straight again. And then I was just like, do not use that brake, coast to a fucking stop. You know, just like hold that shit straight. And she did. We pulled over. We thought like that we blew a tire or something, or the steering broke. We had no idea what was happening. No damage to the vehicle at all. I think what happened is we hit black ice, and she just like either the wind hit her and she turned, or she turned too much or whatever, hit black ice at the wrong spot, and it just
So it wasn't like anything
Through
like
the
she was
terrain.
merging over to another lane or anything?
I don't think so. No, I mean I was looking down at my phone,
Okay.
and I had headphones in because she didn't want to listen to music that early, and I was like, all right, that's fine. So I was just listening to my own music just in the morning, and then all of a sudden the car is sideways, and I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, I'm
I'll
not
take
gonna.
my headphones out.
No, I didn't wear headphones for the rest of the car, right? Because I'm like, yeah, no. Actually, after that, I drove for pretty
That's-
much until Toronto.
That's actually something for some reason when I'm like in a car with somebody and I'm not driving, I cannot like read or like look at my phone. I'll try, but my paranoia takes the best of me and I have to watch the road with them.
Oh, I guarantee you, I'm way worse than you when it comes to that.
Oh, I know you are.
If I'm in the car with someone,
God damn it.
if someone else is driving that I don't fully trust, I get so fucking anxious because like I realize that a lot of people are horrible drivers, and like not to toot my own horn, but like I'm a pretty damn good driver, I'd say. Like I'm pretty safe.
I'd give you a 7 out of 10.
Fuck you. I give myself a 9 out of 10.
I would say I'd give myself a 6.
I would give myself a 9 out of 10.
Well, I'm giving
really
like,
would.
Like I'm giving like a 10 to somebody that could handle being in a street race but also drive completely safe with it.
See, I don't consider that a 10 at all. I consider that a 4. If you're gonna street race like illegally and not safely, that's not safe. That's stupid. It doesn't matter if you can handle the wheel or not. I don't consider someone being a good driver like someone that can skirt around a corner and be fine. No, a good driver is someone that's not going to endanger others.
Yeah, but it's
That's what I consider. I'm purely safety skill. Track is a different thing. I'd get destroyed on a track, but like I can make sure that we're gonna get from point A to point B fucking safely. Like, and I mean, some skill does come into it, like knowing how to drive on snow and knowing not to be a dumbass. Don't go on your fucking phone, you know. But like, I was actually in the car. I'm not gonna say names, obviously, and they'll never listen to this anyways. But I was in the car recently, with someone, and they were just sitting there on their phone at night, driving down back roads up here, and going. They had their cruise control set to 60 miles an hour, going around like.
Wait, can you come? Like,
He had his cruise control on going 60 around really really tight corners, like back like I guess they're not really like County A. You know where County A is? Yeah, like that road, 60 miles an hour when the road is not clear, snow and ice. And like drifting off the road a bit, like driving over the fog line.
Fuck that.
All the time, and I'm just like,
I'm gonna die today.
Yeah,
I think I'm
like
gonna die.
Squeezing my girlfriend's hand. I'm like, I hate this.
By the way,
this so
if
much.
we die today, I love you.
Quite literally, I'm just like, I hate this. I fucking like people that do not drive safely or take other like other safety seriously just pisses me off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Now
I have a huge control problem with it when it comes to driving.
Mhm.
I would much rather be the driver. Like always, I feel way more safe when I'm the one driving because I know we'll be fine. There's like two or three people that I actually trust driving, like 100% that I could like fall asleep in the car with.
I'm not one of them.
No, you're not actually. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm willing to take that. No, I've
not
done
right
I've done
now.
some stupid shit with cars, so
You're better than most.
yeah.
I will give you that. Like, you are better than most. You don't really get too distracted.
When I know I'm being safe, I'm going to be safe.
Right.
When I'm going to fuck around, that's where I'm going
Right.
to fuck around.
I mean, yeah,
that
like-
is not going to be safe.
Well, because my thing was like, because he was like, if he was like driving like that and we were going like 30, 40, I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. We're not going that fast.
Even
Might
if we
get-
hit the ditch,
if
snow's going to
we
take
hit-
impact.
Yeah, if we hit the ditch, snow, tree, even like, it'll hurt, but we'll be all right. And I'm like, it's not my car, whatever.
Right.
But going 60, 65, okay,
that could kill you.
That's pretty scary.
I mean, yeah, 45 could kill you too, depending on what tree
What
you
exact-
hit.
yeah.
But
But you're probably gonna hit snow first,
Yeah.
you know, and you're gonna fishtail first. And like, that'd still be scary, but it'd be less scary. Like if you're going 60, 65, like around a corner, like because he wasn't turning off the cruise control at all. He was just going fucking
What-
ape shit.
what time was it at?
Like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh God!
So it's the middle of the night, too.
It's morning hour. Oh my God!
Yeah,
Fucking
it was the
bunch
worst
of
time.
drunks are getting out of the bar, driving around.
Well, I mean, we don't really see that, but like,
Well, I mean,
it's
it was-
it's colder, so the ice is more solidified. There's probably black ice everywhere.
everything
It just
adds
snowed.
up to
It-
that.
Yeah, it was
It's
horrible.
like-
It was awful.
There's so many little
Yeah.
things that's wrong with that.
It's not that I'm like a scaredy cat. You know, it's like, oh, if you want to drift into the ditch, that's fine if you're going 30, 40 miles an hour, not 60 around damn near 90-degree turns. Literally also talking about like, yeah, I almost died in this corner once while he's sitting there with his phone scrolling through Spotify. Just,
Wow, that gives me a lot of confidence that you're not going to kill us now.
yeah, wow. Can we not do that?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I hate that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, so there's only a couple of people I trust to drive, but yeah. Fuck.
Canada.
Can't. Yeah, so we almost died, but she saved it, and we were okay. The concert, yeah, back to the concert. So we were staying in Toronto, so they had their last 3 shows ever.
Mm-hmm.
Was supposed to be the last 2 shows were going to be in Toronto, and then the one before the last 2 shows was going to be in a town called Guelph. Guelph.
I love that name.
Yeah, which is like an hour
I want
away.
to name my kid that.
Which is like an hour away from Toronto. And I was like, well, Toronto would probably be a little busy. Guelph would probably be a little bit better in terms of like how many people would be there. There's still a good amount of people there. So I went for the Guelph one. I'm like, it's only an hour drive.
How many people were there if you take a guess?
Ooh.
Was it like a stadium or like a ballroom?
There's a couple hundred.
Okay.
It wasn't a stadium.
Like
Was it-
400 people?
It was like a concert hall. Really, like it was like you had the stage. I mean,
Would it have been like
look up. I mean, anyone that's like curious, they have it on their Twitter. Just look up the 2021 USS Guelph show. I was at that show.
Wait, was it kind of like the Amigo the Devil floor but filled?
So it was there was the Amigo the Devil floor in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, completely filled. But then on both the right side and left side, there was like a higher like porch almost.
Yeah.
That you could also sit, and we were on the left porch.
Mm.
Essentially. And there were security guards everywhere, unlike Amigo the Devil. Like there was maybe one, and then he just kind of sat around. No, these guys were fucking. There was like 4 or 5 of them, and they were all talking around, patrolling, fucking scanning the arena. They kicked a couple people out.
Goddamn.
It was quite interesting.
Well, I mean, the Amigo the Devil concert was very tame.
Oh yeah, that too.
That was super tame.
But no, the concert, the crazy. It got more wild because I didn't realize it until we were in line to get into the venue. I heard that from other people talking about like, yeah, this show's gonna rock tonight, guys, because Ontario, I guess, reinstated because of the virus jumping back up. I guess they reinstated their capacity limits for things, so they would have if they would have played their 2 shows in Toronto,
they wouldn't have been able to fill the hall.
yeah, like half of the people wouldn't have been able to go, and so they said fuck it, and they rescheduled it for this June. But they were like, oh man, fuck it, we're going to Guelph. So Guelph was their last show of 2021.
Wow.
So
And you got to see the last
Yeah,
show.
I'm very lucky because if I would have done the Toronto show, we would have drove all the way to Toronto from Wisconsin and then had it canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So we were very lucky. And one of the coolest things that I've like, Amigo the Devil, he sounded really cool. Like he sounded pretty close to how he does on the record, right?
Did it sound exact?
Yeah, I mean, he was also
for USS.
He was no, Amigo the Devil.
No,
he didn't sound exact. He was also hammered. USS sounded exactly.
Yeah.
No, they sounded exactly like they do on the record.
Like Amigo the Devil, I didn't think sounded exactly off record. I thought it was pretty spotty because he was pretty drunk.
He was drunk. I mean, that's also like the nature of his.
Yeah, the whole thing is like it's a folk kind of a folkish country that people get drunk to.
100%. Yeah, and that was a hell of a lot of fun. USS. One thing that like most artists, if they're on tour, they're gonna play some of their like most popular songs, but they're also gonna play songs from like their newer album, right?
Yep.
And like throughout the year, before they started their tour,
did they play Porn Star Trek?
What?
Did they play Porn Star Trek?
They didn't play that one,
Damn.
unfortunately. They did play a couple ones that I wasn't expecting them to, but before they started their tour on Twitter, they were doing like a poll of like, hey, what songs do you want to see like from this new album? And they were voting. I was expecting to see some of them. They didn't play a single song off the new album at all. They only played all of their old bops.
That's kind of cool.
Every single song was just all of their old bops. So I knew every single. I mean, I know their new album too, but
were you mad at it or were you? Cool
no,
with it?
I was just surprised.
Okay.
Like I was bopping to every single song. They put on a fucking rock and roll show.
Oh god,
it was awesome. They played a couple songs that I didn't expect them to. They played a song called "Heaven on Mars," which is a really like emotional song. That's really it's one of my favorite. It's got an awesome fucking guitar riff to it, and it's like kind of like an underrated song. It's not like one of their most popular at all, but they played it, and I was really surprised. I'm like, wow! Like I heard that come on, I'm like, no way. And then they played another song from that same album that's also really underrated, a song called "Kit," like K-I-T.
I think I've actually heard of that
It's
one.
otherwise known as "Keeping It Together."
Yeah.
And it was the most beautiful thing because Ashley, the lead singer, he sounded exactly like he does on the record, and it was awesome. We actually have the same guitar, which is really cool. That's why my guitar's name is Ash. But he was singing "Keeping It Together." And then at the end of it, the ending lyrics are kind of like, there's nothing to be scared of, trust your intentions. There's nothing to be scared of, trust your intentions. Please don't be afraid to love, trust your intentions, oh. So like shit like that. And as he was singing those final things, he started to like tear up a little bit. And like he literally got on his knees and stopped playing and just started crying. Because like this was his like
the last show.
The last
fuck, I'm gonna cry just thinking about
their last
that.
shows because I could tell that like they weren't quitting because they hated each other or whatever. The bond that those two guys shared is the most beautiful thing ever. So they definitely beautiful. Love each other. I think they're just trying to do other things in life. So because they were saying like how is this the hardest fucking week that they've ever had. And he started crying, and then they hugged. There's pictures of it. It's fucking beautiful.
Oh, that sounds. Oh fuck.
And then I was crying, dude. I'm like, that's fucking so awesome. We love you. And then he got up and he's like, no, hear these fucking words again. And he played that last bit again and had everyone sing along to the trust your intentions. Yeah,
just you saying so that gave me chills.
It was so awesome.
Oh god, that sounds.
Shout out to the Human fucking Kebab though. He's kind of like the DJ. He's the hype man. So Ashley is the singer and the guitar player. Human Kebab is the other half of USS. He does the mixing. He does like the other weird sounds.
How many people are in USS?
What? It's just those two? It's those two guys, but they. I don't know if this guy was just there for the tour or if he actually records in studio. But they had a drummer, so it was just three of them on stage. They had a drummer. But it was started by just the two guys. Human Kebab is one hell of a fucking hype man. He was just jumping around, fucking. There's one point he did a handstand or a headstand, sorry, and then at the mixing table he was on his head and his hands were up above, still mixing the records.
What?
Just going, just doing that shit for like 2 minutes straight. He was just on his head, leaning against leaning against the thing, just cabinet, just doing this. There's probably pictures of it somewhere, but I'm like, that's dope. And then he flips over and just goes again. I'm just like, that's fucking so cool.
And imagine him like sitting at home trying to do that, and he like
I'm
falls
sure
over onto all his shit.
I'm sure he was practicing for a while. No, he did it flawlessly. That was fucking. It was so cool.
I just imagine all the times he messed it up though before.
It was a beautiful fucking show, dude. It was so amazing. I'm trying to think of anything else from the show. I mean, there's so much. I have a bunch of videos of it. I'll have to show you after this podcast. But now that I can actually talk about it, it was the best concert I've ever been to in my life. And I honestly don't know.
You've held yourself together so well.
I don't know if anything will be able to top this concert.
Honestly,
like, there'll be cooler ones, but like I'm so glad I was able to see them when we saw them and like before they cut out, because I never got to see Brand New.
With the bond that you have with USS, I think that's gonna be the best concert you've ever seen.
That's because that was so awesome. I guess they recorded the entire thing too. It's not. I don't think it's posted yet, but the entire thing is recorded.
Oh, so you can go back and like relive the concert in a sense.
If they release it, they said that because it's their last show, they professionally had like a staff themselves record everything. I don't know if they're just going to release montages or if they're going to release the entire show. I hope they release the entire show, because then I can be like, yo, I was sitting over there, you could probably see me.
Yeah, like, then I can literally sit down with you and kind of be in the concert and try to find you, try to play Where Waldo. Yeah, again, I'll have to try to find some videos, but it was the coolest thing ever. Trying to think of anything else from it, but I don't quite remember. It was very cool. And then after the concert that same night, since I'm still talking about that night, it was like 11 o'clock at night when the concert got out, right? Pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, they started at like 7 though.
Oh, okay. So they still went on for 7.
Yeah, 4 hours. There was an opener and stuff, but
who was the opener?
These rappers named Snotty Nose Rez Kids.
Oh, I know Snotty Nose.
Do you
Rez
really?
Kids. I know of them. I've had it recommended to me a lot.
They were interesting. I think they were hammered, maybe on some sort of drug, and they kept jumping. They were, dude. They
seemed fucked up.
It was interesting. Their music was way too loud. Like, it was hurting my ears, and it was like rap shit.
After this, because I've never actually listened to it.
It's interesting. They're kind of interesting to see live, dude. There was one time, they kept jumping on speakers, jumping like on like the top of the fences, and the security guards had to like hold them up from like falling and shit. And you could look at the security guards' faces. They're like, oh my god, but like they're the performers, so I can't like tell them like to
get the fuck off the fence, dick.
Yeah, they're just like, oh god. They kept jumping around. They were fucking trying to do parkour and shit. One of them fell into the drum set drunkenly, spilled his beer. It was, I think he was about to pass out at one point. Like, it was
a time.
It was, yeah.
What is it? Snotty Nose Rez Kids.
Snotty Nose Rez Kids. And yeah, one of them wore glasses. I think they both wore glasses, but one of them, like, he flipped his head around and his glasses flew into the middle of the fucking crowd. And like they got it back, but it was fucking funny as hell. I'm just like, who the fuck are these guys? It was actually after the story I'm about to tell. We were leaving and we actually saw them just out, the Snotty Nose guys out in the middle of the street in this town, because this town was dead by this time because it was like 1 a.m. And they were walking and we're like, hey,
did you go and say hi?
No, we were like, hey, we don't.
You didn't really want to.
Not really our vibe, but they had the thing to where they kept doing the entire concert and they were like, all right, I want you to say Snotty Nose. Rez Kids. So we were passing by and I was like, Rachel, roll down the window. And I was like, Snotty Nose! And we just drove by. I don't know if they heard us or not, but
that's cute.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I wish I would have shouted it louder, but oh well. But yeah, so after the concert, we were walking back to the car, and then we just hear this music playing. There's a bar that was open. And I was like,
oh yeah, you did tell me about this.
I did tell you about this. There's music playing, and I was like, is that live music? She's like, yeah, I think it is. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. That dude sounds really good. Like, didn't hear him at all, or didn't see him at all, just heard him. And I was like, all right, whatever. We walked back to the car. We were kind of like amped up from the concert still, so it was like 11 p.m.
You were thinking, I don't really want to go back to the hotel.
Well, we had an hour drive to the hotel. By the time I was like, well, if we drive back now, we're probably just gonna go to the hotel
and go to bed.
We're not gonna go to bed, but like, we're not gonna do anything else. And I was like, we talked for a bit, and we're like, kind of seemed like you want to go to that bar. You kind of want to check it out. The legal age of drinking is 19 in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So my girlfriend, being 19, not 21, like in the States, but she was legal to have a drink. So we went to this bar. That was where she had her first legal drink, which was cool. And we saw this dude playing live music. His name was Alex Price. Really good. He was playing mostly covers. There could have been some original songs in there, but I didn't catch them. He played like Billie Jean. It was really cool. And he was just really, really good. And it was just like there was only like 5 other people in this bar. This was a really small bar, and it was really cool experience. We gave him a tip and everything.
How much did you give him?
Just a couple bucks because we only had a couple bucks left in cash at that point.
But I know you use card for everything mostly.
Yeah, well, I got Canadian cash for the trip too.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you bring any back?
no, I have some coins. I didn't.
Ah.
I ran out of actual paper, unfortunately.
Upsetting.
Yeah, I can just go to my bank and just convert it though if I wanted to.
Right.
She's like, hey, can I have $20 Canadian? Why? I don't know.
I just want it.
Yeah. Okay. But no, we saw this dude and it was really awesome. We looked up on Spotify afterwards, and I've showed you a couple of his songs. They're really good. 2 songs that I really like: "Fool" and "Spaceship Love" by Alex Price on Spotify. He only has like 1,000 or so monthly listeners. Super underrated guy. Beautiful voice. Really fucking good. So that was really cool to just see him live randomly. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. That's a memory I'll never forget. USS concert, then seeing someone live and it actually be really good music. Big cities, man, it's crazy. There's actually like talent. So that was really cool. Okay. So this was like the first day we were there. We were checking out we were just walking around Toronto. You walk everywhere. You don't drive. If you do drive, traffic's a bitch, and
it's kind of like New York in that sense.
Kinda. It takes forever to get everywhere. Pedestrians are always in the way, and you have to pay for parking everywhere.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it sucks.
At that point, I just longboard.
Right. So we found like a supermarket like near like some games or game stores that we want to check out, some thrift stores.
Really nice longboard around Toronto.
Well, we didn't have longboards.
Well, yeah, but I would like to do that
I'm sure it would be.
someday.
They had like apparently you can just like drive like scooters on the sidewalk if they're small enough.
Huh.
So
like
there's
mopeds?
Yeah, like even like motorized ones, like gas
I wonder
ones.
if we could use I wonder if I could use my motorized longboard.
I mean, probably, but that thing is horrible.
Yeah, no,
that thing
is
sucks.
terrifying.
That thing is horrible. At that point, just get an electric longboard for like $500.
Yeah, but like, God, that thing.
Well,
is fun.
they also have like public like e-bikes. I think you can rent out too. Like they're just around the cities, and you can like sign up with your kind of like the electric scooters where I live. You know what I mean? You just sign up with your phone, drive it to a next charge station or whatever the fuck. But no, so we found the supermarket near some thrift stores, paid for parking, whatever. Then we walked around, went to a couple game stores. All right, we went to. Have you ever heard of a place called EB Games?
No.
It's essentially the a Canadian version of GameStop.
Okay.
Which is really cool. I've always wanted to go to one. Apparently, they're better. I mean, it was like a GameStop. it was all right. I mean, there was shit there.
Was there anything that was better about it that was automatically like, oh, that's nice?
Well, okay. So one thing about the Canadian currency is everything looks way more expensive. So because $1 Canadian is about 80 cents for us, I think.
Okay.
So they're inflated a bit more. So you might see something that's like, oh my God, it's like 80 fucking bucks, but really it's only going to be like
it's only around 60 bucks.
50, 60 bucks for us, Yeah. But like you're paying $80 Canadian, it feels like a shit ton of money. So that's one thing to think about. So everything seemed overpriced, but like
just something to reflect on.
Yeah. I did find the only thing I found at that EB Game Store, which was really cool, because the EB Game Store was mostly like GameStop because it was mostly modern stuff. They didn't really have much old stuff. But I did find Assassin's Creed Valhalla for $20 for PS5, and that's normally a $70 game. So I was like, oh, I found it for $20. That's dope because it was on sale. Oh yeah, the coolest thing just about Canada and in general, everything you bought there, including my Valhalla game. It's English and French on everything. It's a dual language on everything. It's fucking the coolest thing ever. I loved it.
It works like that for games too.
Everything.
That's weird.
Everything.
That's bizarre.
Products. I have a French English bottle of NyQuil.
Well, it's like I've always wanted to learn French, and I've tried to spend time to do it. I know, like, very minimal.
Dude, fucking, you realize how stupid you are when, like, and how like sheltered your life has been, at least for us. When you're in a shop at 2 a.m. at like
and some random person just starts speaking French.
No. Yes, but no. You're at like a Mediterranean shop, so these Mediterranean guys are helping making a fucking type of food you've never fucking heard before. You know, which was really good actually. But they're doing that and they're speaking whatever language that area speaks. You know, it's like, oh, that's whatever. And then these 2 white girls walk in at like 2 a.m, mind you. Like this is 2 a.m, so it's just us, the workers speaking their language and English. Then these 2 white girls walk in speaking English, whatever, and then they're talking whatever. They're like, "What do you want?" Blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden they switch to fluent French, and I'm just like, "Oh, I'm putting my
I need to put my head down.
I don't belong here." That's immediately what I thought. I'm like, I do not belong here. I should have learned. Like, why don't we learn another language? That's another point for another fucking podcast. But like, we should learn more languages. So that was cool. French is a fucking beautiful language.
Do anything else?
What?
Do anything else?
Well, I found the Arnold Palmer cans that I gave you.
Yep, you gave me one of those.
Yeah, I gave you one of those. It's
I'm
French and English.
Read through that enough times to be able to say it in French. I'm going to...
I haven't drank mine either, so I don't know if the recipe is different.
I haven't drank mine.
I mean, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe I should have got more to do that.
I'll say it after the podcast, actually.
Okay. I had a Canadian Barks root beer, which was English, French on everything. So just when I say Canadian, that's what I mean. I have a Canadian Coke, which is cool. I drank the root beer, tasted like root beer.
Wow.
Coke I didn't drink. I still have the can. I'm sure it tastes like Coke. I have NyQuil, like I said, because I had a cold.
Apparently, like Dr. Pepper in Japan and America, it tastes completely different.
Really?
Apparently, it tastes more like cough medicine. And because Dr. Pepper is not a popular thing in Japan, they basically took the flavor and then just drove it in like 5 times more. Just that really deep medicinal taste that Dr. Pepper has.
I heard a theory that from Josh from Mythical Kitchen. He thinks that Dr. Pepper is just root beer and Coca-Cola mixed together.
Oh my God, it totally fucking is.
Because he's like, well, Dr. Pepper claims that there's like 23 different flavors. And he's like, well, root beers consisted of like 10 or like 12 or whatever. And then Coca-Cola, it has 11.
Wow.
So that's his theory. I haven't actually tried mixing them, but now I want to.
We should do that for Off the Couch.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not? We have an Off the Couch video where we have to try strange combinations anyways. Which I forgot about that one. Well, there's what I was gonna say. Okay, so all right, my favorite story. Okay, there was other cool stories. Oh, I'll say this. They my favorite fucking thrift store of all time that they have. I don't think we have. I haven't looked. Maybe I should look. Nowhere near us for sure, but maybe they do have it in the States. It's a place. It's kind of like a Goodwill, but like on crack and way better. It's something called
When you say Goodwill on crack, I think of a homeless person.
No, it's like good. It's I think it was called Vintage Value.
Vintage Value.
I think, yeah.
That sounds higher end.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like, think of the size of a Goodwill, but like multiply it by 4. And then
another place like that, Antique Antics. That should be a name for a place. Okay,
that is good. They had so much just cool shit. They had a bunch of electronics. First thing I saw like 8 Wii Fits. That was cool.
8 Wii Fits.
Yeah, I found another Jasper Xbox 360. Oh my God. I did. It was $20. Canadian 20 bucks. So that means it was only like $10.
Huh.
But it was a Jasper one, so that's like, and it was an old Jasper one, so it had the possibility of being old enough to be jag taggable. Unfortunately, it was updated. So I mean, it's still a non-red ringable Xbox. Yeah. It's a Jasper, and I don't own this is a white one. The only Jasper I own is a black one. Yep. So now I have a white one. Cool. Still looking for an old J taggable. That's gonna be hard to find though. But
God, you were on a mission.
I know. So they had a bunch of cool electronics. My favorite thing though So I don't know if you've ever tried to like. My girlfriend is like the fucking master of finding cool old vintage clothes at Goodwill, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever tried that. I've tried that a couple times.
I've
Just
tried finding old vintage clothes in Goodwill.
Goodwill just doesn't have very good men's selection.
No, they
It
don't.
sucks.
Because it's what it seems to be, at least where we are, because it's just a place for everybody to throw all of their older clothing.
Right.
So it's mostly like college stuff, maybe some camo stuff,
It's
hunting stuff.
Yeah.
It's
And
none of it's actual
the good shit is
wear.
mostly in the women's. It
Yeah,
really
and
is, at least here.
I've actually gone to the women's section just to get like nice T-shirts or nice
Right,
jackets.
yeah, no. This place in Toronto, oh boy, man, like they have like aisles of just men's jackets, like just like 3 aisles of just long coats.
Oh, that sounds so
And then 3
nice.
aisles of just like leather jackets
Mhm.
for all men.
Oh,
Like there's so many bomber jackets.
vintage value.
Vintage value. I found a really cool green, like forest green bomber jacket that I bought. It has to be dry cleaned. That's why I haven't wore it yet.
Oh, okay.
But that's really cool. I found
I
a
love
I found
bomber
a I found a
jackets.
cardigan. I've always wanted a cardigan. I found some
Ooh, I should
some
show you-
Canadian pajama pants. It's pretty cool.
I got a nice sweater for Christmas, and I should show it to you
Yeah.
because it's like the fancy, like you know, preppy kids that just
Yeah.
like they wear. There's like a specific style.
Sure.
It's like the first piece of preppy clothing that I've ever gotten, and it's
Wow.
like it's weird, but like I like it.
Yeah, I like some preppy clothing just because like it's comfy, you know.
Right.
Um.
No
oh,
wonder rich people are buying those clothes. It's fucking
Right, yeah,
comfortable.
fuck. I'll go buy them at resale stores. Then fuck that
Right.
shit. So another thing that was cool. I mean, this is before I found that Goodwill type place. That sparked the idea. We were just walking around. When we were walking around to those game stores. I'm just remembering some things before I get to my climax here.
Mhm.
We turn a corner and I see this little like small little like storefront, but it's like a big vending machine called RC Coffee.
What?
RC Coffee. And
Okay.
it's just like it has like a touchscreen like menu thing, and you can select a coffee, and a robot makes you fucking coffee.
That sounds awesome.
It's the coolest thing, and they like you select what you want, you pay for it, and then you can watch a live video feed of the robot behind making
Oh
your
my
coffee.
god, you can actually watch the engineering at work.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
that's
so cool. And
awesome.
he had a Santa hat on too, because it's near Christmas.
Oh,
It was.
that's so
We
cute.
we literally turned the corner. I'm like, am I about to spend $4 on a coffee made by a robot? Fuck yeah, I am. It was good. It was fucking cool.
This, never mind. I have jump topics.
And then we found this just a random, just like local shop, which is a cool thing because the Vintage Valley is a chain, but this is a local shop, and they just had vintage clothes. Like they had like really cool old Levi's, some really cool jackets. They had a really cool bomber jacket, like a brown bomber jacket with the white fur that I've always wanted, but it wasn't my size.
Ah, damn.
And then they had this really cool like 70s looking like long coat that was like a suede orange. It was so fucking pretty. I think I did take a picture of it, or Rachel took a picture of it. But it was tight in the shoulders, and it was like $100. I'm like,
now,
it doesn't fit perfectly. I shouldn't do it.
I'll occasionally I'll get, because I did that once with like I had like a black and white it almost had like the diamond print, but it like repeated itself with the
Sure.
black and white, and it was a trench coat that I had gotten it, and I was like, I'll wear it at some point. Put it on, same deal, kind of tight in the shoulders,
You're
and
just
like
like,
couldn't really turn all the way. I still bought it for like $5 because it's $5.
Yeah, $5. I mean, at that point,
Never wore it. Literally just saw it in my closet thinking, that was the worst $5 I ever spent.
yeah, it's just like, oh, it's cool, but like it'd be cooler if it fit me, you know?
Right.
Like, and that's kind of how I felt. Like, I really wanted it.
And there was no outfit that would really fit. Like, it looked like something I'd wear in
Right.
Cyberpunk.
Right. I mean, like, if it was like a little bit too big for me, that's different. You can tailor that down. You can't really tailor up,
No.
you know, especially
That's-
when it's that old.
Then you're finding fabric and trying to stitch it all together to make it look
especially
nice.
I'll have to find you pictures of that. It was really cool. So I was disappointed about that. But then we found the Vintage Valley, and I found a couple bomber jackets, which was cool. Never found a really nice nice outside jacket though, but I'll be back. Don't you worry. But then we found this place, and this is my favorite story. It was actually called AC Games, believe it or not. I was just like, look at that, it's Adam and Corey Games.
Oh my god!
And it was a game store, and it had a bunch of like retro games, new games. It was really cool.
You know,
they were accurately priced, so it was.
I think
I didn't buy anything because it was all overpriced, and I didn't know what I wanted.
I think they just answered our question.
What?
If YouTube doesn't work out, we're gonna open up a game store together.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
AC Games.
Just telling you about Phoenix Resale earlier.
Yep.
Fucking Amazon sell us. I kind of want to do that. Maybe I'll do that with my. I don't know what that was. That was me covering up the fact that I was just telling Corey about. Like. That's what the first. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, we were at this place called AC Games. Looking around for a while. It was cool, but it was overpriced. Didn't really need to buy anything. This was like the first day still, and my voice was just gone. You know what I mean? And then I was actually wearing the same jacket I'm wearing now. And then we were near the register because we kind of walked around the entire store, looked around, and then we were kind of making our way towards the exit because I was like, well, I'm not going to buy anything.
That actually, I don't think we even said that. Just to emphasize how cold it is down here.
Oh,
we have pajama pants. I have pajama pants underneath my jeans, and then I have 2 blankets sitting on top of me. I'm wearing a t-shirt and then a hoodie and then my jacket over that, and then I'm wearing a beanie.
I am wearing 2 layers of socks. One of my socks is heat socks. I'm wearing boots. I'm wearing my jeans. I'm wearing pajama pants over my jeans. I'm wearing a t-shirt, a hoodie, with the hood up, jacket on. I have a hat on, and I'm sitting. I don't have a blanket on, but I'm sitting right in front of the heater.
And my feet are still cold.
Yeah, my feet are cold. But, yeah. So, but yeah, I was wearing the same jacket I am now, and we were walking towards the exit. Because I didn't want to buy anything, you know. I didn't find Driver San Francisco, even up there. I looked everywhere. I was very sad about it.
Wait, what were you looking for?
Driver San Francisco. Ubisoft removed it from you can't buy it digitally anywhere. It's the one that Nick Robinson made a video on for a second person perspective game.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I want to play that game so badly, but you can't find it anywhere. I've been trying to find a physical copy, but it's very tough.
I forgot that game even exists, and that concept is so crazy. Yeah, watching somebody drive in front of you while trying to control them, and that's the whole. There was a last mission that like flipped it on its head.
It was, I think that's what it was, because that last mission I think you were playing like you were like in the perspective, but I think you were
doing the person in front of you.
Yeah, something like that. It was weird. So just go watch Nick Robinson's video on what a second person game is like. It's awesome. But I mean, I could go buy a copy online for like $30, but like I want to find it. It's the hunt of finding it physically, you know.
That's the joy of it.
It's that because I don't really know of any other games. Like, oh, I'm sure there's. I don't know. I'm not aware of other rare games yet. I'm just like, oh, what do I want? So this is the one I've been. That's the one I asked for every time. I was like, do you have this game? I want to find this game. I did have a thought when I was in there. I'm like, oh, I'm in Canada. Everything's gonna be like Canadian. So I tried to look for Sly Cooper to see if I could find any extra like covers, and I couldn't find Sly Cooper anywhere, unfortunately. But that would have been cool. Not all of them were French Canadian, because I think there must have been some imports, but a lot of them were. So we were looking at some like pins, like some like lapel pins and patches that were near the exit, and we were kind of making our way. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then there must have been this dude at the register, and all of a sudden, like this was still the first day, so my voice was still gone.
You were still.
So Rachel had to talk for the most part.
Wait, so what did you sound literally just like? I can't talk right now.
No, it was. Yeah, it was just there was nothing. There was literally nothing unless it sounded like I had the fucking Rona. And like yeah, no. So I tried not to speak as much as I could, and it hurt. So we were just looking at the pins, right? And then all of a sudden I feel excuse me, like a dude that comes up and hits my elbow, and he's just like a taller dude.
Hey, are you Adam from on the couch?
No. Yeah, bro, what up?
Oh my god, oh my god.
Can you imagine though? Holy shit. In AC Games.
Right, that would be the coincidence of it all.
That would be funny as shit. Fuck, I wish I had like a little on the couch
business card.
Pin. I would have put it on on that pin board with AC, you know. But no, this dude like says, "Excuse me," and he's kind of taller. He's also wearing like a leather jacket with like a hoodie and stuff because it was kind of cold there, and he had a hat on and a hood, I think too, like a beanie, and he had a mask on, because you have to wear masks everywhere up there, and he says, excuse me, I'm sorry." He's just like, I love your jacket. Like, I absolutely love your leather jacket. Like, it's like, do you know what that, like, that's not just like older style, like normal, like 80s. Like, that's like James Dean. That's like 60s style. Like, that's vintage as fuck. Like, I love that. I love that. He's like, where did you get that? And I was about to say, where I got it. And Rachel was like, "Oh, we got it, like Goodwill or like a thrift store or whatever. It's like one of those vintage finds." And he's like, "Oh, right on. That's awesome. That's an amazing find." And I wasn't able to speak up because my voice hurt, and I was like, "That's not where." Okay, whatever. She's speaking for me. That's fine. And then all of a sudden he was like, "May I?" I'm like, "Sure." And then he lifts down his mask. Give me your arm. He lifts down his mask, and he proceeds to go. Sniffs my elbow and then leans up and goes,
Wait.
I'll do it again. He leans up and does this. Fuck, I love leather. And then he puts his leather mask with spikes back on his face. Yep.
The more I think about it, the more it's just like I gotta do it now. I gotta just. Wait, then did he sniff your hand?
No, I was just doing that so I was close to the microphone. He sniffed the leather like my elbow, leaned up and was like, "Fuck, I love leather," and then put his mask back on. And then right after that, the cashier, because I think he was checking out, and then he talked to us. Okay, your mic was out.
It's just really.
No, it was out, but it's fine. Tappity tap tap.
There you go.
Okay. No, I think he was checking out, because then right after he sniffed me, he the cashier was like, "Your total is whatever," and then he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry," and then Rachel and I were just like,
"What the fuck?"
And then we just walked out. We walked out, and like the shitty thing was, I wasn't like offended or like,
no, you were
upset.
Like, dude, I love the smell of leather.
He was like an interesting dude. I wanted to sit there and talk to him. I was very mad that I couldn't because of my voice. I was very, very mad. The funniest thing about that story is, though, Rachel and I walk out, we get like a block away and make sure he doesn't follow us or whatever. And then I say, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, Rachel, I didn't get this from Goodwill. She's like, no, you didn't? I thought this was like a vintage find. I'm like, no, Rachel, I bought this 2 years ago from Burlington Coat Factory with Corey. This is fake leather.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
I know. I'm just like, I didn't have the heart to tell him,
You just.
Like, this is fake leather. Do you remember getting this jacket with me?
Because that was where I got my boots. Not my boots, my fancy shoes.
I got my fancy shoes there too. And I bought this jacket. You were with me. This was like a $30 jacket. Remember that?
I do.
I bought it because it's a fake leather jacket, but it's like a nice fake leather jacket, I didn't have the heart to tell him that, man. I mean, it's ironic. I do actually have a leather jacket from the 60s now, like an old motorcycle jacket that needs to be reconditioned. It's awesome, but like that's not what I was wearing. So
I can't.
It's funny as shit.
I can't.
So shout out to that guy in Toronto. Like, I love you. If you hear this somehow, please,
hit us up.
The dude that sniffed my jacket, my fake leather jacket, my James Dean leather jacket in the middle of AC games in Toronto on like mid-December of 2021, please hit me up. Like, we want to interview you.
Yeah,
like that.
100%
Like,
down.
I would have talked to you if I could have.
You have the same kind of chaotic energy that I need in my life.
My favorite random fucking that was my favorite Oblivion NPC encounter I've ever had in my life.
Like, how? Like, when you say like, "May I?" You don't know.
I didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah, like what do you expect?
May I what? Oh, fuck, I love leather. I'm like,
oh, fuck, I love leather.
It was literally like, oh, fuck, I love leather. It was literally like that. I'm like, dude,
Oh, I love
no
this
way
guy.
that just fucking happened.
Did he say his name by chance?
He didn't.
Damn.
He got distracted by the register, and I couldn't. I felt weird because of how weird they are with masks. Is like even walking around like on the street outside, you gotta wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to speak. I know I didn't have COVID, but I had a cold, and I don't want to
You didn't
freak
want to
people
spread
out because
anything.
my voice sounded very sick,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to like
Alarm people.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, and it was hard to understand what I was saying unless I spoke loudly too, which also hurt.
Yeah.
So I was unfortunately not able to talk to him, but like
Oh my god.
that was the most memorable experience. That was something, man. That was something. That is my best story from that. I want to go to Toronto. We need like a friend's vacation to Toronto or just Canada. Like that place is awesome.
So have you seen the video of the dude that like he starts the video off by saying like everybody's an NPC and everybody like you can say whatever you want to these people. They will just take it and run with it.
Yep.
And he walks into the gas station. He's like, "Oh my god, did you hear about Danny DeVito's new sex tape that he did? What? Danny DeVito did a sex tape? Yeah, it's called 3 Mans on a Log. What? That's crazy." And he just like goes off and like talks to him. He's like, "Well, whatever, man. You have a good day now. Whatever, bye."
Dude, especially like gas station attendants, of shit I heard fucking as a cashier at a gas station.
It's just the weirdest shit.
Dude, fucking cities though. You would have loved this, man. Dude.
Mm-hmm.
You would have fucking like.
I wish I was there with you to.
I wish you were there too, dude.
Oh, I would have talked to the guy
that was
for
the
you.
Funniest shit. Oh, it was so cool, so cool. Shout out to that guy, man. But that's pretty much my Canada story.
Yeah.
You have any questions? Any other thoughts?
You smoke pot?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that shit.
Oh, no.
What the fuck?
It's legal in Canada. You might as well.
I mean, yeah, it's legal in parts of here, but like, you really think I do that shit, dude?
Nah, you're pretty clean. So.
Wow, I'm actually
I
really,
mean,
I'm really fucking offended that you just asked me if I would a controlled substance. Are you serious?
I wasn't sure, man.
That's really fucked up.
I figured you would take the opportunity
Who would
and
do
try
that
something
stuff,
new.
dude? That's really
druggies. You're
you know
right.
what?
You know, junkies smoke pot. You're right.
I'm deleting
You're
this
right.
episode. It's
I didn't mean to ruin it.
No, you ruined it. You really ruined all of it. No, you ruined it. No, outro song. This is the last one. No, it's done.
I was just trying.
Bye.